Good. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our time together. I'm Lori Valencia, and I'm here with the wonderful Trisha Fisk.
Good morning, everybody. Happy
And
Monday,
yeah,
right?
happy Monday, right? And today we want to continue our conversation about spaciousness. And interestingly enough, Trisha and I, after a week of marinating in the concept of spaciousness since we last talked, we've had some interesting feelings and reactions and it's been
Right.
fascinating, right? And so
Right.
we thought let's just keep on talking about spaciousness. And I was almost going to put for the title of this spaciousness question mark, do I really want it? Because and it's fascinating because there's some part of me that's so drawn to it because it feels free, it feels expansive, it feels like possibilities. And I love that. But as I stepped into it, I'm like, ugh, it's scary and overwhelming. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. And, I don't want to, I'm sure I'm going to have more to say about it, but I'm going to throw it over to Trisha so she can also say what she's been feeling this week.
Right. Yeah, it's been surprising to me too. Um, I find I love the spaciousness. I don't want to come out of it and come back to my stuff.
Mm.
However,
Mm.
I'm doing a teacher training with a group of therapists who deal with trauma with their clients. And we had training this weekend, and one of the things we talked about was the different places we go to with our nervous system when we sense any threat. And so the fourth places are fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And then one of the therapists asked everybody in the group, like, where do you go when you're feeling, some kind of a threat? And I go to freeze.
Mm.
So it's not surprising that going into this place of spaciousness, like I just wanted to stay there. I
Right,
didn't want
suspended
to come
animation.
back.
Freeze.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right.
Hmm.
So, yeah. And what was so fascinating was, as you'll share, you had the opposite experience of it. Um, but for both of us, I think that there's somehow this expectation that if we go into spaciousness, problems will get solved. Our
Mm.
life will get easier, stuff will
Hmm.
get fixed. And
Hmm.
I think that's a old, still carried out old belief from being raised Catholic and going to Catholic schools, that somehow if God is on your side, you don't suffer. And if you're suffering, it's because God's not on your side. So I think that's part of still that old belief about that. So anyway,
I
so
like the
yeah,
other thing you texted me was as we were talking about this, you said you were seeing the spiritual path or doing a spiritual practice to fix yourself.
right.
And I think that, if I were to just be 100% honest, I think I do that even with this podcast. If I am generous enough, I'll be fixed. I'll be good enough. And it's fascinating. And, when you were saying that about trauma, we're trying to avoid or fix. And
Right.
and gosh, and it may, and how does that really affect our even willingness to go into spaciousness where there's no need for fixing? There's no need. It's just the womb space. I, 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 part of being in the spaciousness is going into the darkness, which is the womb space, which is supposed, in quotes, be that nurturing, all is well and all will be well kind of place. Even though when I go there, I'm like, "Ugh, it's scary. I don't want to be here. Oh, it's so much emptiness."
Please share that more, your perspective of this, because that honestly, I found that fascinating.
Well, it just kept going. I just felt like it kept going on and on. There was nothing for my mind to hook onto. It's too much emptiness, too much nothingness, too much non-direction. No, nothing for my mind to grab onto and do. My doer was really uncomfortable. It didn't trust the emptiness. And and then it was like, okay, I'll go into neutral for a while. Where's the big idea? Where's the inspiration? How is this going to create something productive? And again, I was like, this is fascinating. I don't think I like spaciousness. And that's what I emailed you. I'm like, I don't think I like spaciousness. And I think that was such a gift, right? A gift of this whole experience. And I can feel if my mind could settle down, if it could go into neutral about it a little bit more. This morning I bubbled up with this felt sense of just, I want to say nurturance, but it was Mother Mary energy. It was a womb space, but not in from a void place. It was from a warm, supported, loving place. And I think my what I was thinking was that womb space was and nothing, and I felt untethered, where the womb space, I think, is quite loving. And the untetheredness isn't as scary if you're in the amniotic fluid of the unlimited love.
Mm. Yeah, I've been doing this meditation, luminous coherence, and I had a realization, and again, it's from, I think when you work with therapists, it's pretty hard to hide your stuff or pretend
Hmm.
about
Hmm.
stuff. And
Hmm.
the holidays are here, and my sister passed away in
Hmm.
July,
Hmm.
and my brother-in-law is going to be moved to Indianapolis to be near his oldest daughter, who has power of attorney, to assisted living there. And so my family dynamic this year, there won't be a Christmas with my family. And
Right.
right, I've been really avoiding that.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
yeah, so that was one of the things in this luminous space where we're supposed to allow whatever to come up comes up and allow sensations and emotions and stuff like that. I felt for the first time grief. I mean,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
allowed it to
Hmm.
stay there, although the meditation was guided and I could only stay there so long, to be just honest and come right to the point. Because the minute the person guiding the meditation started to talk, boom, I like
Right.
jumped out of that. Right,
Right. Get hold of
right.
yourself, woman. You're in a
Right.
meditation.
Right, right. Yeah, you're supposed to be in neutral, not
Right.
feeling space. Right. So
Right.
it's been fascinating, and I think part of this too, and especially because of your reaction to this, made me think that, that be gentle, like enter this space and see what's there, but you don't have to jump in and stay there for 40 days and 40 nights. I mean,
Right. Hmm.
jump in and take what you can and come back out and then try it
Right.
again and see if yeah. So it's this gentleness, because in this spaciousness we're seeing those things that we're fearful of seeing about what it is to be human.
Right.
And obviously your reaction is more, you're a fighter, so
Hmm.
that quietness drove you crazy. And
Right.
I'm a freezer, so I just wanted to stay there and have it be quiet,
Which
right, and
probably
not
makes us good combo, right? Hot and
right,
cool.
right, right.
It
Which
needs
is
to
why
be.
I think it's so fascinating. We usually are, like we said, working on similar things, but from different perspective,
Right.
right?
And I love that what you're saying about gentleness because if gentleness and love, the natural order of the natural thing that we come through is not our first go to, let's say, because we are
Right.
survivor, we'll figure out how to survive. And and I think what we're being called to is this loving embrace that isn't a doer and isn't responsible so much. And it's real. I'll just say it's really hard for me to lean into that mother love that, and I hate to even call it mother, the nurturing, clear, cancel, delete. I still obviously some have, and thank goodness, my mom's still around, so I'm still getting to do some of this love work with her, even though she has no idea. I'm just appreciating her as who she is, with all, lumps and all, and foibles and all. And the more I get to hang out with, the more I appreciate, and I really am grateful that if she did call me into this life and we are, on a journey together, which I know every mother and child is, it's quite beautiful. And even in all its weirdness and hurts and disappointments, and, it's such a weird combination of things that if I can really allow myself to go there, I think it's such a huge gift to myself and
It
to her.
is. It is definitely. Because my mom has passed, my dad has passed, now my sister. It's quite a loss. And it's not that you can't continue to communicate with them because I believe that the soul lives on and our spirits, our energy lives on, but it's different, right?
It is
It is
different.
very
Yeah.
different, right? Right.
But I think it's really interesting that I was just equating spaciousness with the void and nothingness and
Hmm.
emptiness and coldness. And this journey has been mapping it more to loving possibility, nurturing, embrace, gracious compassion. Those were things that I didn't obviously have too much of. Um, but is such a that doesn't mean they're not there. It just means as my human old story, Lori, I didn't fully get, for all kinds of reasons, and I'm sure people can relate to that. But as we're talking and as we're doing this work, this dive into spaciousness, I think the mapping is happening where I don't have to be so fearful. I don't have to fight. I don't have to flight and and the fawning, especially as women. I want to be genuine and I'm not a fawner and I hate having to fawn. Bleh, it's nauseating. I know how to do it, but but being genuine, like I appreciate people. I think that's the journey we're talking about, and I think spaciousness can give, that's our mind. If we can have our mind settle and walk into that expansiveness, I think there's huge gifts and graces in there I couldn't have embraced if I didn't allow myself to go there.
Right. And I think, yeah, being kind to ourselves, um, it's not like it has to be a transformation overnight. Like it's yeah, gentle and curiosity about it. And I think the fact that we're finding language to just talk about it speaks to
Mhm.
the ability to step into it and right, try it out and then let's talk about it and see how what it's like for you and what it's like for me. I That is the entrance to it. It's like anything. Once you even let into your head the possibility of something being other than the decision you made about what it was,
Right.
you allow this opening to start to happen.
Yes.
Right.
And that's where transformation can happen. I mean, that's where you're going to meet some of your stuff too.
Right. Right. Yes, there's no avoiding that. But I think the fear about that becomes lessened as we do that work more and find out that, oh, okay, I was willing to face this thing, but what happened was it actually went away instead of
Right.
taking over my life. Right. Um, so yeah, I find the more I can stay curious about this, and you and I have spoken about this before, I don't think on the podcast, but there are people who come to this life and they have these transformative experiences that just change them like overnight, Kundalini awakening or whatever. But you and I have not. And we laughed one time and agreed that we believe we came into this life saying, no, don't do it fast. I'm gonna get gritty and dig in there and get in the mud and go through it. And so that's another reason why I think going through it as not boom, like I've got to speed drive through it, but this is as much as I can take right now, and then I'll come back.
Right.
And no judgment about that too.
No. Well, I
Yeah.
do think, thank you for saying that because I think downloading what it feels like to live as a glorious divine being into 3D. We've talked about this before. I have. I've been calling it, embodying heaven on earth. I don't think it's ever been done this way before. And if we skipped steps, I don't think we could articulate it. And that's not fixing. Let me just be really clear about this. That is not fixing. And for whoever is listening, get clear. You are not in the process of being fixed. You are a leading edge conscious creator that is in the process of downloading this new language, this new embodiment, this new heaven on earth. Sorry to use those words, but what it feels like to walk as a magnificent being. And that is very different. And I think that's where, when we have the courage to go into the spaciousness, we become available for
Mhm.
it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And that availability, if I'm not pushing away spaciousness because it's not turning into something my mind thinks is productive and helpful and useful and maybe make money and all that blah, 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 human old stuff.
Boy, you are a fixer, aren't you?
I know, right? And it's got to make money too. If you're gonna fix it, it better turn into something. I do have my DNA is still active. Um, I think that that's the gift in this. And so as you're listening, the reason why we're kind of doing the second phase of the spaciousness is to encourage you to continue into the void. And if you get scared, that's okay. Like what you were just saying, Trish, about don't back away from it. Be kind to yourself. Take a moment to step away, but don't run away. Those are different.
Right. 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 Yeah. Yeah. According to luminous cohesion, it's a brain retrain.
Right.
You are, yeah. So it's gonna take some consistency and some time to do that. It's not gonna happen overnight.
Right, your neural pathways, they're baby, they're baby neural pathways, and we're in the middle
Right.
of creating a real groove.
Right.
28
Right.
days at least, right? And I think that's why and that's one of the things I love about Rod's work. It's always 40 days because he knows it takes that long to retrain your brain. It takes that long to create new neural pathways and stimulations. So be kind and
Right.
gentle with yourself in this.
Yes. Yes. And don't be afraid of it and don't back away from it, but do it in a way, do it in your time.
Right.
Do it in your time. Yeah.
And even, I think even just that willingness to say I'm open to the nothingness. I'm open to the spaciousness. I'm open to going into the darkness. One of the women that I'm taking a class with, she went into the dark. I think I mentioned this, to the darkness for 3 days. And I was like, and she said she went in. I mean, everything took so much longer because, you can't see. I mean, it's pitch black. And I've been thinking about that. I'm like, I don't know that I could do it. I don't even like when the sun sets too early and it comes up too late, I'm like, it's too much dark already.
Right.
Um, but the idea, the concept is that in that nothingness, so much can be born. And that's what this whole time of fall is that we're going into the dark and that spaciousness allows for something that you don't even know is possible to become available to you. And you become available to it in a way that your mind can't craft.
Perfect.
So as we continue into the dark, oh, I think there is so much beautiful gifting that happens. And I think we're experiencing it right now.
Well, and it is the sol. I mean, we're moving towards the solstice. So yes,
Right.
it is exactly happening right now.
Yeah.
So
So I think here we are, the
yeah,
quiet moments, enjoy them, right?
yes,
And that's,
absolutely.
just to go back to what you're saying about the holidays, I think a lot of things are being cleared out. And weirdly enough, the old way we did holidays, I think it's asking for a relook too. You're just on the leading edge of that.
Well, it's just really quick too. One of the things I'm noticing because my Christmas is going to be so different this year is all the stuff that's on TV right now for Christmas is all about shopping.
Ah, right. Yeah, shopping for gifts and making it nice. Right,
Right,
exactly. Finding
right.
Mr.
Macy's.
Christmas.
Go to Macy's. Yeah, they've
Yeah.
got all the gifts already. Right.
Right.
So, yeah, yeah, it'll be interesting to go through this from a different perspective and see what shows up in this
Yeah.
spaciousness.
I like that. Maybe that's what we'll spend some time doing over the next between now Thanksgiving and Christmas is, that giving ourselves the gift of what do I want my solstice to be? Not Christmas, but my
Right,
solstice. That's different.
right.
Um, Beautiful. Well, have a wonderful, spacious time, everyone, and we wish you a lot of availability into
Yes,
what's being born inside of you.
yes, absolutely.
Have a great
Bye,
week.
everybody. Bye.
Namaste.